Good morning, good afternoon, and good day to all, and welcome to another edition of Homie Picks. It is me, it is Lou, it is Ben. Fellas, what is going on? How y'all feeling?
Beautiful day. A little bit too much work today, but gotta love it.
I started vacation.
Oh,
I'm
fuck you then.
I'm enjoying it right now.
You could
I'm
bleep
in.
that CEO.
I'll be on vacation this the week of December 1st, so
Oh, you too, man. Bleep this one. Fuck you too.
this is not this is not a family friendly show. Oh, this is on YouTube, but A2021 Vision, we do love the kids though. So peace of the kids, peace of the kids. But yeah, so we got another good one for y'all. Week 11. Hope
Yeah.
everybody enjoyed Thursday night's game. Because it's gonna suck next week when it's Pittsburgh and Cleveland. But Saquon Barkley, what can I say about him?
That's not, can we bleep that name, please?
It's the
Every
Giants'
time we say
greatest
that name,
mistake.
bleep it. We need to bleep that name. All right, I
Bro,
need
I
a
think
head
what
coach.
what they were off by $2 million. That's it.
Not
By the
even,
Eagles.
not even because his franchise the year before was 12 and they got him for 13.5.
Oh my God.
So
That,
what
that
are
was
we really
just
talking
bad.
about now?
That was bad.
I mean, the amount of chance of thank you Giants is crazy. Like who would have thought that a chance in Philadelphia?
Made
I
no
mean,
sense.
Washington had that game. Washington had that game and they blew it. Let's just say it like let's put it the way it is. Um, but again, I hope everybody enjoyed the last couple Thursday night games. Baltimore, Cincy, Washington, Philly, because going into Cleveland or it doesn't matter. A game
Doesn't
involving
matter where
Cleveland,
it's at. Yeah.
it's not going to be a good one. But uh, our first game we're going to start with is going to be a good one. Speaking of the team that is playing on Thursday night, they got a short week, and it's going to be a tough week because they also have a rivalry game against Baltimore, who is a 3-point favorite. Baltimore is a minus 180 money line favorite and 48 and a half over under. Um, Traditionally, person whose team it is goes last. So starting off, we're gonna go with Ben. Ben, how you feeling about Baltimore's chances of actually being a favorite?
I don't like it. No. Yeah, I mean, it should be a good game, but for some reason, Baltimore doesn't do well when they're a favorite. Um, but on the other hand, Tomlin does when he's the underdog, particularly at home. The defense, great defense, obviously from Steelers, and the offense has picked up with Russ. I must say, Russ, I thought he was washed. My apologies to Russ. Let him ride because my man is doing his work. I mean, they've upticked their offense. Um, yeah, I mean, I like Pittsburgh in this spot right now. I feel like they're playing well. What concerns me about Baltimore really is not their offense, but it's their defense, particularly the back end. And right now, the way Russ is playing, he's got the moonshot going again. Um, I think he could take advantage of that secondary, and I believe Hamilton's a little banged up. I think he will play, but he's still banged up, so we don't know how effective he might be. So yeah, I'm leaning Pittsburgh on this one.
Nope.
I like this matchup. I know Lamar's knees a little banged up there too as well. He was a light participant in practice. Um, I really like what the Steelers are doing. They didn't rush Russ back. You know, Justin Fields did enough to keep him above water, and just the difference in Russell Wilson. I mean, I think he's proving everyone that what happened in Denver was not on him. I think he's going to continue to perform. I mean, that pass to Mike Williams where he dropped it in the bucket, it was beautiful. And I didn't think Russ had those kind of throws left in him. So yeah, I love Baltimore. I do. Derrick Henry, my MVP. Shout out to him for being my third pick in my fantasy draft and performing well beyond expectations. Um, I think this is going to be the toughest. They hate each other. These two teams hate each other. Like we know this. Um, I think it's going to come down to whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. Um, we've seen Lamar get hella frustrated when his team makes mistakes, and he has a propensity not to be the one to cause those. But I gotta go with let's ride on this. I think they have a coach who I think this is a pairing made in heaven with Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlinson because they're two different people, but they get each other. So I'm riding with Pittsburgh on this just on the sheer energy. If Baltimore runs the ball, and I mean like runs the ball, then they definitely have a chance. But if they get loosey goosey with the passing and let JJ Watt run wild, you ain't that's a recipe for disaster. So, but I'm taking Pitt with this with you, Ben. I think they have a nice good thing going. I think until somebody proves them differently, they're the favorite to me in that division.
You know, when I was thinking about this game earlier, I was like, while I'm always happy for uh success for people of color. I hate the fact that Mike Tomlin is a fucking Steeler coach, but I am also very happy to know that this will be another year where he does not have a losing record. So kudos to Mike Tomlin. I know they still a few more weeks left, but at a team that's already 7-2, I can't see them going. I can't see them losing the next 10 games. But I do see them losing this game though. So um, yeah, Baltimore's defense is banged up. For everybody who enjoyed Baltimore, Cincinnati, and saw nothing but scores, if anybody knows anything about a Baltimore Pittsburgh game, don't expect that. I definitely think it's going to be a low 20s game, especially when it's cold. These teams definitely just try to just run it. And I think Russ is a good compliment. I think, you know, yeah, but no, everybody counted out Russ, but I think he does have a good core around him. Najee Harris, Williams, Pickens.
Yeah, Pickens.
It's a really nice defense. Pittsburgh has always been known to have a really good defense. TJ and boys have been running, him and Hayward, they've been doing things, holding it down. And yeah, Baltimore is fighting through some injuries. Kyle Hamilton is hurt. Marlon Humphrey's hurt too. And that's two of our big. That's our safeties right there. But you know, I'm not gonna go for Pittsburgh here. Like, come on now. Like, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the Ravens here. So we go all day with this one. So yeah, I still like Lamar's chances, no matter who it is, that he's going against. Yeah, when he gets frustrated, it does show, and that's one of the things he needs to work on. But at the same time, we've also seen Aaron Rodgers, and I know that's a bad word nowadays, but when he was good, he wasn't washed. We've seen what Aaron Rodgers looked like when he was frustrated, and he still got the job done too. So I'm still going to say Baltimore all day, every day. Moving to our next one, we got Atlanta.
Before we move on, did you hear about Deontay Johnson though?
That
No.
that
So
picked up from Tennessee. What about him?
yeah, they asked Mike Tomlinson about him.
Mhm.
Will he be a factor in his game? And he literally said pretty much he was trash, that he's an after pretty much that he was an afterthought, that they got better weapons than to think about him. So he's not even part of the game plan. So I'm interested to see if Deontay Johnson takes that personally going forward.
I mean, look, I can't say that Tomlin's wrong.
No, he's not. He's not. But just to be bold to say it to the media is just there's a whole different ballgame.
But he's actually gonna catch a ball now. He's actually gonna get 20 yards as a reception. Yeah, I didn't hear that. He ain't wrong, but
No, he's not.
I
Let me
like
see
the
if I find the audio.
confidence.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something different from Mike Tomlinson. That I never heard him talk out about a former player like that. Like he had Antonio Brown, and we never seen him run the truck over him. You know, Le'Veon Bell, he never ran a truck over them. So I was just kind of shocked that he actually went that far.
I mean, if somebody got to check if Tomlin got a daughter, because he got a daughter, odds are my man tried to hit or he did something to that. Like, because right, Tomlin never speaks out of turn to any of his former players.
Right.
So that is a really different thing. So yeah, so somebody got to check it. If the man got a 27-year-old daughter, he try to holler at her. But that's funny though. He's not wrong. But I went to Denver, Russ's former team. Denver is a 1.5 point favorite. 132 money line and 43.5 over under. Lou, uh, do you think Denver has enough to pull this out?
No. No. No, 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 no. Like I love what Bonix is doing over there. Like, I don't get me wrong. He's really developed more than what I thought he could. Sean Payne has done phenomenal with him. I I I just don't fully trust him yet. I mean, the Falcons have been wishy-washy. We haven't seen their true potential. They got weapons all up and down that field on the offense. But it's really been their defense that's been letting them down, and they're just stupid plays in the offense. Um, that last play against was that a Monday night game that they blew it
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago that they ran out of time?
Who, Atlanta? No,
Yeah, Atlanta that
Broncos?
just ran out of time because they were boneheaded plays, things like that. Um, I love the possibility of what Denver can be. They're just missing a couple key pieces. I think if they had Bradley Chubb still, different ball game. Um, they did trade off Judy off to Cleveland, but
He wasn't
Bonix,
doing anything.
yeah, Bonix is the truth though. I think Sean Payton has shown people that it wasn't just him and Drew Brees being put together. So it as much as I say it's a redemption year for Russell Wilson, this has been a redemption year for Sean Payton. I think 5-5. I didn't pick the Broncos to be at 5-5, but I can't understate the fact that Falcons have way too many weapons. I don't think Moody is being used enough. Cal Pitts has been the most inconsistent athletic tight end in the NFL. He is better than Kelsey. He is better than Kittles. He just doesn't show it. Like, he doesn't put in that work. But Bijan Robinson is the truth. I think if you go through him, you get a dub. And the games that they've lost, they've shied away from giving him the ball late in the game. So I'm hoping they flip it. And Falcons. But I will lay the 2 points on this because it might be close. This might be one of those 1 point games that we see in the weird funky week 11s.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think Atlanta's the better team. I do think Atlanta is the better team. I think Denver does have some nice pieces. I think they're doing some nice things this year. I know they didn't work out last year with Russ, being there and so forth, but what they're doing this year is definitely is riding a course, and considering where they are now compared to what everybody thought, I wish I still had a screenshot of the over/under predictions of everybody's team, because I don't think Denver was even predicted to even get 5 wins. Shout out to what they're doing out there. They're playing tough. Their defense has been putting in work. Because it's like they have had highlights, in that defense. With what was it? Not 13. Who had like 101-yard return the other week on that team, but I forgot. But either way, they're doing good work out there. But I still think Atlanta is the better team. I think with Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Pitts, yes, very consistent. I think what they're doing, even with Kirk Cousins, like what they've been doing that with this offense, week to week. Yes, it's been inconsistent, but they've kind of had a steady roll. It's not like the Saints who started out 2-0 and then completely flopped after that.
Fired the coach and everything.
I mean, you lose to the Panthers, you should lose. You should lose your job. But
Tell that to the Giants.
my bad. My bad. But
We ain't fired nobody.
They should fire Danny Dimes. That's who they should fire.
Danny Dimes, Dayball,
Everybody.
what's the GM name? Sheehan, whatever.
Oh, he should
No,
go.
she-
Definitely the GM. The GM
Yeah,
definitely should go.
everybody got to go. Everybody.
I might keep Dable, but I would get rid of
Uh,
Dimes
everybody
and the
gotta-
GM.
Everybody got it.
Throw everybody in the fucking trash. Start over.
Rename that
Except
shit,
for Malik
Jason.
Neighbors. Well, Malik Neighbors is a soft ass with concussion every 2 seconds.
Rename that stadium Jet Stadium. But anyway, but yeah, I think Atlanta is a better team. I think Atlanta does pull this one out. I know and it's kind of like the same thing when you're going against the Nuggets. When you're going into that element, it is different. Not everybody is built like that to withstand, the high altitude of Denver. So it's all that really is a home field advantage for any home team that does play in that altitude. Because you will see people gas and you'll see people having to get air and oxygen into the lungs because it is a real thing out there. Especially when it gets colder. That's even, and then no matter how athletic you are, you're going to struggle. So I still think Atlanta is the better team. I think they will pull this one out. I'm thinking maybe last second field goal. And who knows, that maybe that last second field goal does make it a 1 point, a 1 point win. But yeah, I still think Atlanta wins, and I still think Atlanta covers their spread of 1.5. Ben.
Yeah, I mean, coming into it, thinking about it, I was leaning towards Atlanta. Like a lot of the stuff you guys said. Yeah, Atlanta is the better team, paper wise. But I was impressed by what the Broncos were managed to do with against KC. KC has a real defense. Like it's a real defense, and they were able to move the ball up and down. KC does have a pass rush, and they were able to protect Bo Nix pretty well that on Sunday. So Atlanta, their defense hasn't been there. Their pass rush is non-existent, so I think that's gonna give Bo Nix a lot of time. Um, Kirk Cousins, he's been doing well. He's been balling, but sometimes he starts off a little slow sometimes, or they've been making a little bit too many mistakes here and there. I'm gonna lean towards the Broncos on this one, just the home field advantage, the altitude. Like I said, I think they're gonna be able to protect them, and I think the defense is what's really gonna keep them in this game, and it's gonna give Kirk some trouble. Bo Nix has just been a pleasant surprise. I mean, he's been growing every week. He's been getting progressively better at moving the ball. So I can see him moving the ball against this Falcons team. I'm not that impressed with their defense, particularly their pass rush, like I said. So I'm gonna lean on the Broncos here. I think they pull it. I think they pull it off here.
Speaking of Paul, we talked about boxing earlier. Go to the actual Paul that we know. I suppose to talk about the Niners this week. Seattle, San Francisco. Seattle, San Francisco. San Fran is a 6.5 point favorite, minus 290 money line, 48.5 over under. How do we see this one, y'all?
San Francisco's that team that they're trending like, what the fuck are you doing? Like they should have been undefeated. They like all the weapons they have. Like I just think some days they don't show up. And that's crazy to say for a San Francisco team when a couple years ago they were running the table, going back to back, championships. So I don't know. Like Seattle, I love Seattle. They're scrappy. They're gonna get Metcalf back. Big boost to them. Um, Kenneth Walker probably gonna run amok, I think, in this one. Um, I'm going with Seattle. I gotta take
Yeah,
Seattle. San Francisco too inconsistent for me.
yeah.
Yeah, this one was a tough pick for me as well. Like, I don't know why the Niners are that much of a favorite, a 290 favorite for the straight up win. I don't know about that one, but I do feel like they'll pull it off. I do feel they'll get the win. I'm gonna lean with the Niners here. Seattle is just has been so inconsistent. Sometimes they put up a lot of points, sometimes they can't move the ball. They've just been a weird team. I just don't trust them too much right now. I don't trust the Niners that much, but they are getting healthier. It does look like they miss Ayuk though. Like their offense is still meandering, I guess. But another week of McCaffrey, maybe they'll utilize him a little bit more this time. Hopefully, Debo is not picking fights with the long snapper. And yeah, I'm just leaning on that. I feel like again, home team. I don't. If I'm betting this game, I'll definitely take the points with Seattle. 6.5 is a lot of points. I think this is probably a 3 point game, but I think Purdy and team does they do just enough, and I think they get the win.
Yeah. If I would have told you 5-4 was the record of a team coming into this, you probably would have thought it was Seattle. But no, that is San Francisco. Like as Luz pointed out, they've been hella inconsistent this year. And the fact that Seattle's running the hills 4-5 shows that even Seattle, and they had a nice little start and they've tailed off a little bit too. But I still think that regardless of how bad San Fran is, in terms of consistency and how they've been playing this year, it's good to see them come down to earth a little bit. I wish I would see that in KC, but but you know what? Even with KC, they've come down to earth. Only problem is they keep finding ways to win. And that's something that San Francisco hasn't always done, is find ways to win. Um, you got beat twice by the Cardinals. The Cardinals have done nice things this year, surprisingly. All before Modern Warfare 99 dropped out. But you know, I like Seattle though. I do like Seattle. I still think everybody looks at them as the premier team in their division. Um, and even them being them and the Cardinals, the Rams and Seattle, like I still think everybody looks at Seattle as like the top dog, and they probably should. They were just in Super Bowl not too long ago. Um, well, so were the Rams. Um, but I think for how many times San Fran has been bullied to a lot of these teams in the division, I think everybody still feels like now's a good time to take advantage of it because they're
Right.
vulnerable. So with DK coming back, Walker's still there. Um, protect
And
Gino.
yep.
So I'm gonna actually say Seattle. I'm gonna go Seattle on this one.
I kind of feel like Shanahan is starting to
Um,
lose his team at the same token. Like he's losing San Fran off the off season stuff with players not showing up, holding out. I mean, it doesn't feel like the normal San Francisco teams.
they don't.
Well, it happens. Injuries, holdouts. I mean, part of the game. But like I said, they're getting healthier. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah, but at the same token, look at Kansas City. Lost Tyreek Hill, Chris,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The defensive end
but
had was
but
a
they have
holdout.
Patrick Mahomes. He covers up a lot of warts. San Francisco has Purdy. He's Purdy. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to call Purdy the next Mahomes at times too, bro. Like it
Really.
was saying next
I
best
don't
thing.
know. They
It was
bought the
saying he was the
hype.
next best thing.
I didn't buy
But
that hype. He's a good quarterback. I'm gonna say average to slightly above average quarterback, but he's not, that kind of player that can carry the team. He's just not. I mean, you've seen it when his main stars are out, he just can't win. So
Yep.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that's what they were saying.
Right, right.
They were riding coattails of
they
the best.
did. There was a lot. I mean, Homeboy got MVP votes. I don't know why, but he did.
Well, we got two games left. And we're gonna go with the game that is officially the Sunday night football game, which is Cincinnati versus the LA Chargers, who are the 1.5 point favorite. 126 is money line favorite, and 47.5 over under. Um, I'm gonna lead off and say Cincinnati's winning this game. I'm just gonna put it out there right there. I don't even know how the Chargers have won this many games, to be honest. And maybe because I don't watch the Chargers, but every time I see them watch the Chargers, they suck. So I don't know how they won this many games. Cincinnati has been in the dumps. They got 4 wins. They're gonna get win number 5. I don't like Cincinnati. Let's not make it a secret here. We know I don't like them. We know I wish them ill. But I just I see Cincinnati win this game because they need to get their head out their ass, and I think this is the game for them to get their head out their ass. They're going to see a hard ball across the field. Forget that it's not. Forget that it's not John.
Right.
You know, and then go at it. So yeah, I think Cincinnati wins this one. I think Cincinnati has too much offense for the Chargers. If Cincinnati knows how to play football, but if they do, Sunday night, lights are bright. We just seen what Jamar Chase is capable of doing against any team, especially a Harbaugh-led team. So, Cincinnati, that's my pick. Lou.
Yeah, I'm riding with you on this one. Short and sweet. Cincinnati gets T. Higgins back, so that's another weapon to get back. Chase Brown stepping up tremendously. No one thought he would be who he said he was, or who he's been. And Jamar Chase, what can we say? Last week was crazy. I think he put up like 55 fantasy points, bunch of touchdowns, 200 something yards. I think everyone should be very, very scared of Cincinnati going into the second half of the season. They're just going to beat up on people. That's just what it's going to come down to. You're going to have to outgun them, and I don't think there's a team in the NFL that can go touchdown outside of Baltimore to go touchdown to touchdown with them.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sweep here with Cincy. I like what Harbaugh's been doing, but they just don't have the offensive power that Cincy does. Again, Cincy's just they can score, and as bad as the Bengals defense has been playing, you can't blame any of this really on Burrow. He's been balling. He's been great. So he's been really great. I think he's probably the MVP of their team. And again, Chase, I'm sorry, but they should have paid him, bro, because now he's gonna be more expensive. That was a huge mistake on their part. But yeah, I like Cincy here. I mean, they played Thursday night, so they have extended rest, and they're playing on Sunday night, so they have a lot of time to prepare. Again, I, bright lights. Burrow shows up. I mean, he's one of those types of gamers, and I just don't see the Chargers have enough firepower, particularly on the wide receiver end. They can probably run some, but they just don't really have too many people to throw it to. So yeah, I'm going with Cincy in this one.
And to the game that should be Sunday night football. Kansas City versus Buffalo. Buffalo is 2.5 point favorite. Buffalo 132 money line favorite. 46.5 over under. Yeah, I don't know how the hell you say that's not the Sunday night or even the Monday night game. I can even make a case this could be Sunday night. Baltimore Pittsburgh should be Monday night. Like
They should have flipped.
these are the two best. I don't know how you don't flex these things at this point. Anyway, the only thing I gotta say is does KC stay undefeated? No, this is the game they actually lose. KC's been looking very human, and they keep winning games. Buffalo has been hella inconsistent. I don't like them playing half of the time, but I think Josh Allen and his band of flunkies are actually going to be the victor in this one. I just somehow, some way have a feeling that Buffalo makes KC look really human by making them get a loss. But then after that, I think Casey just propels them after that. It's just gonna go back to the Super Bowl after that shit. But yeah, that's how I see it. I see Buffalo win this one. I have no logic to it other than because no matter how much logic you throw into it, Casey has by logic chance, Casey should have lost a lot of games and they're still undefeated. So I was gonna say Buffalo. Hell of it. Uh Ben.
Yeah, I like Casey in this one. When when Patrick Mahomes is the underdog, I just don't go against that one. I see that the Bills are just too hurt on defense right now, so it's gonna help KC a little bit here. And they're probably riding high off that win. I mean, that block win, field goal. So I think they're gonna. I don't think this is the game they lose. I do believe KC will lose eventually, but I don't think they'll lose to Buffalo. Buffalo, like I said, their defense is banged up, and I think they're missing. I don't know if Cooper's going to play. I think he's still hurt, and I heard Kincaid is out, so less weapons for Allen to throw to. So I think they're a little handicapped here. I like KC.
No.
Make it quick. I'm gonna say KC. They run the table. DeAndre Hopkins goes buck wild in this game.
Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next week, week 12.
Let's ride.